Guys, what Petr Yan did over the weekend was really, really special. Not only the performance in the fight against Davison Figueiredo, a former champion at flyweight, someone who is so skilled, so well-rounded, and can absolutely crack. Like, the fight performance was incredible, but forget that. For his mentality to suffer 3 losses in a row, and 2 of those losses were, you could call them robberies. I hate to call close fight a robbery, but I thought he potentially won the Aljamain Sterling rematch and the Sugar Sean fight, especially the Sugar Sean fight. You know, to have those 2 not go your way back to back and then to lose to Merab Dvalishvili really comfortably, there was no question about that one. That leaves you in a really, really tough spot. You know, how could you not be fed up with the game, fed up with the sport? Fuck this, you know, I put everything into this sport and this is how I get repaid. It would be so easy to have that mentality. But no, Petr Yan rebuilds, has some time off, really, really adjusts his game, sticks to the training, and comes back, puts together 2 beautiful wins over surging contenders in this division, and now he's reinstated himself right at the top. The guy's only young, 31 years old, but to have that roller coaster, a former champion, already dominated this division, you know, beat guys like Jose Aldo. When this guy became champion, he was the boogeyman in this division. To suffer those 3 losses, to have that downward slope, and to ride the wave, to rebound like he has, it just goes to show you the sort of championship mentality that Petr Yan has. Now, we've known the guy's a savage, you know. These Eastern Europeans are just different. Forget the fighting skills, that mentality. They are just hard people. You know, their perception of life is just completely different to what it is for us in the West. And, you know, it's really, really interesting to sit back as an observer and just have a look at his mentality, you know, just admire it. What the guy's been through, and to come out the back end of it, hungry as ever, improving his skills. You can tell martial arts is more than a sport for Petr Yan. It's part of his life. And yeah, it's really beautiful to see his comeback. Let's talk about him reinstating himself in the top of this division. Petr Yan, he looked as good as he ever has against Davison Figueiredo. And that's saying something, because the guy's a savage. We've known about his Muay Thai. His scrambling and anti-wrestling, those trips, he is such a fun fighter to watch. So technical, so clean. Everything is chambered beautifully. And now, getting some momentum behind him again, with some fresh matchups at the top of the division. Umar, wow. What a fight. I'd even love to see the Merab rematch, you know. There are great fights for Petr at the top of this division. And I just want to circle back to rebuild himself to this point and to be hungry to take on all these guys. You know, it's so funny, recency bias in this sport. Petr Yan's skills have been there. If anything, you know, continue to evolve. But the way the media just talks about a guy like he's done after a couple of close split decision losses, you know, 3 in a row. Is Petr Yan done? You see him come out against Song Yadong and shut up all those critics. This fight against Figgy was another level. This just strengthened the case. Over 5 rounds, to stay as composed as he did in there and hurt Figgy multiple times, even work through some bad positions himself. You know, Yan's fight IQ is really what stood out to me, which is something that he struggled with in the past. You know, he lost his belt from giving it away. A terrible fight IQ moment. So to see him start to become a little bit more composed and, you know, stick with the real good things about his game that made him so good to begin with, to keep them, to refine them, and to add things like the fight IQ, that composure, he's going to be a problem for this division. And I think people are going to continue to overlook him because fresh blood's always more interesting, you know. We've never seen Umar at the top of this division. We've seen Yan here. But guys, do not sleep on Petr Yan. I think he could be a champion again, 100%. All of these fights are the top of coin flips. He defended 40 takedowns against Merab. Merab just had the performance of a lifetime in that fight. So do not sleep on Petr Yan. No mercy. He can do some amazing things at the top of this division. And I think he's competitive in every single fight you put him in going forward. I think it's going to be electric. And I'm so glad he's back with momentum. Hats off to you, Petr Yan, because rebuilding like you have towards the title again is one of the hardest things you could do in this whole sport. And this is a fucking hard sport. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know what you think about Petr Yan's chances, moving forward in this division, because it is a killer's row. I'll give you that. It is an absolute killer's row, but I have a feeling Petr Yan is here to stay. If you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, I would really, really appreciate that. And we will chat soon.